What's going on, everyone? This is my 2011 Lexus ES350, and I'm just here to tell you that I think this is probably the best used luxury car that you can buy for under $10,000. Might I even add that it's probably the most reliable used luxury car that you can pick up for under $10,000. Now, I know this is going to depend on the condition of the vehicle and the market and all that, but having had looked around for a little while, I found a good amount under $10,000, and I just want to tell you about my experience with them and why I'm making that claim. Now, a lot of people are going to say different things about different, makes and models, about Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Acura, different Lexus, and that's fine. Everyone's subject to their own opinion, but based off of my research, when I was looking for a car under $10,000 and I wanted something that had some decent power, was reliable, gonna be decently low maintenance to maintain, has, can get good fuel economy, and just looked clean, like had a clean design, this was a vehicle I kept coming across. Now, I do want to preface this by saying this is not an exciting vehicle, okay? This is like an economy-ish used luxury car, which is why probably it's going to be the most reliable one under the $10,000 budget, but it's not an exciting vehicle, especially if you come from, rear-wheel drive German vehicles or, smaller, sportier vehicles. This is a little bit of a boat. It floats, so if you like a couch on wheels that can have a decent amount of pull, pull up on the freeway, if you want to feel just a little throwback in your seat, a tiny throwback in your seat, this is honestly such a good vehicle for it. And it's super reliable too. This is the, I think they're based off of the Camry platform and not the Avalon platform of the same generation. But it comes with Toyota's V6 2GR FE, which is a 3.5 liter. And it is just a well-built, super smooth, reliable engine, all right? And being a Lexus, you do have all the sound dampening and whatnot, so when the car is running, it's super smooth, it's super quiet. In terms of fuel economy, I've been able to pull 31, 32 miles per gallon on the freeway during the summer, of course, and it's summer fuel. And this car just floats, and it does it well. The 6-speed transmission obviously helps with all that. But this car has been, great, and I've had it for, 14,000 miles or so now. And so the car's treated me super well. And of course, like I said, it's not in excellent condition. It does have some love marks here. I picked this car up for $6,300. You can see I've got some PPF over here that's fading. I've got it on the hood as well. Look at this. This doesn't look magnificent. The grille isn't in great condition. The headlights are starting to fade. And then the wheels need some loving too. But when I was looking for a vehicle, my main thing was I wanted something that was mechanically in good condition. Obviously, aesthetics play a certain role, but to me, something that's clean, that runs well, that's been maintained was a big deal. There were no maintenance records with it, which was a little bit tough, but I took it and I got a pre-purchase inspection, and the car came back dry and everything was looking good, and fluids looked good, brakes looked good, everything was in pretty good condition. So I was happy with sacrificing maybe a little bit on the aesthetics and, being happy with the fact that I have a vehicle that's mechanically sound. Interior wise, you can tell the car's age, all right? The leather, it's got some cracks, it's got this tear over here, it hasn't gotten bigger since I purchased it, mostly because it's kind of it falls behind the seatbelt there, so that doesn't bug me. The rest of the seats look pretty good. I try to maintain them the best I could. The center console isn't in the best condition, and this really bugged me when I first got the vehicle, but honestly now I just kind of forget about it. And yeah, the passenger seat looks a lot worse on camera than it does in person, except that part right over there. Everything else I've kept fairly stock, except I put some Motor Trend deep dish you know, mats over here. These aren't really expensive. I think they run like 30, 35 bucks. I'll put a link in the description. These have been great though. But yeah, this is what we're looking at right over here. Like, it's stock and it's not the most exciting, but that's what I kind of like about it. Like, it doesn't have to do too much to be a great vehicle. And I feel like that's something that's just lost in modern vehicles. All right, like, a lot of the times most vehicles try to sell you on, gosh, I've hit that point in my life. Most vehicles try to sell you on like little gimmicks and certain things, but this was at the peak of a certain era where, you know, obviously the tech wasn't as advanced, so the materials had to speak for themselves, the engine had to speak for itself, you know, the reliability, the driver's experience, these things had to speak for themselves because there was no shiny objects to distract people, I guess, like there is now. So no, this car is not the most exciting car, but is it reliable? Is it going to do its job well as long as it's been maintained, of course, and all that, we get that. Is it going to do those things? And is it going to do it in a way that you can feel confident in when you get behind the driver's seat? Yeah, absolutely, it will. Now, like I said, I picked this up for $6,300. It's not in fantastic condition, kind of like I showed you. All right, this does need a little bit of love, but during the time in my market in the Pacific Northwest in the United States, this was the best one I could find within 2 hours around me. That was going to be on the second half of that generation, because I did want a 2010, 11, or 12. And so this was the best one that I could find. I was finding 2007s for, you know, like 7,500 with a little bit more miles. And so this one with the aesthetics, like, I was fine with it. I was happy with the purchase, and I still am to this day. Am I going to keep this car forever? Probably not. But I just want to show people that, yeah, it's a commonly overlooked vehicle. It really does blend in to society. It doesn't stick out. It's not something that's, you know, exciting or, you know, you just notice on the road all the time. But I love them. I love this generation ES350s. Having had a 2011 Toyota Avalon, I really appreciated this vehicle for the size, for the, you know, the engine, the transmission, the backseat space. I'm able to have a car seat for my daughter. I do video production for work, so I'm able to fit a decent amount of equipment. This is a great car. So that's that. Thanks so much for watching. If y'all have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them, and I will see you next time.